Hello, good morning. After listening to Mark, you should know that if you are going to redo your will, your testament, you shouldn't invite him. Because we will say, what about me? So, after listening to some stories in these days, I've been thinking that, before coming here, I used to think that I was special in some sense. Now I feel like more ordinary man. So it's a kind of a humility therapy to come here. That's fine. Maybe it's one of the reasons I'm in the World Forum and in the Global Leaders. And this is that I own a school. I created the school 25 years ago, and I'm the principal. And I'm very used to, say what is going to be done and set the goals and the pace and all that. And coming here is about following, not being the chief. It's about trying to understand others, trying to adapt, trying to be flexible. And it's like my yin-yang thing. It's too much for being the principal in my school, so I have to be other things also, I have several sayings for the school. One of my sayings is that regarding education, we are very serious. We let the children play. From that saying, you will sense that I like paradoxes and dilemmas. Another way that I usually describe the school when people come to ask, and the person who is in charge of that asks me to talk with the parents, and many times I describe my school like an exotic school. So they have a question mark. What am I trying to say when I say that? And one of the points is that we work with curiosity. So we don't tell the whole story all the time, just part. And then we let the imagination of the other people to start working. Okay, in Mexico, the value that is most mentioned in education is respect. And, respect here, respect there, and that's fine. But I say that respect is not enough. I say respect is friend of indifference. I can respect you and do nothing about your needs. I'm just respecting you. I always put this example that, if you are walking, you get out of here and you walk to your car, and some guy is, in the acera, in the sidewalk, sleeping there or something. Most people just, go around, step down, step up, and keep their way. They respected the guy. They kept their sleep going, but nothing else. So, I think it's indispensable to work for generosity and consideration. And we try to do that all the time with our students. And not generosity of, going to somewhere and donate things, or generosity with the guy you have next to you. A daily generosity. So, since I'm a teacher and I like examples, I'm going to tell a story about children. This happens a few years ago with two little girls around 4 or 5 years old. One was Maria, the other was Victoria. I was in my office. There is a playing ground next to it. And I was working. At some point, I heard someone crying. So I walk out, and then I called the girls. There were 4 girls in the little house playing there. They came out, and I said, what happened? And one of the girls said, Maria hit Victoria. Then I addressed Maria, said, did you hit Victoria? And she said, yes. And I thought to myself, she's honest. Then then I asked Victoria, Victoria, what happened? Well, Maria hit me because I said I wanted to be the mother. And and I don't like it. It's not fair. And then I said, have you told this to Maria? No. Well, tell her. So Maria was right there, but she turned around, looked at her eyes, says, I'm angry because you hit me because I said I wanted to be the mother, and it's not fair. And then I thought, this is an articulate little girl. Okay, and at that moment, the most usual thing to do in Mexico would be to time out, Well, Maria, you're going to sit, 10 minutes there. You're going to think how to be a nice girl and, very educated. And when you reach out your conclusion, then you can keep playing with that girl, no? Something like that. But the point here is something more important than that. Maria is confused. She's in a win-lose situation. How do we change this perspective? Then I said, Maria, are you sure? Why did you hit Victoria because she wanted to be the mother? Because there only can be one mother, so I cannot be the mother. And I said, are you sure that there only can be one mother? And she said, yes. And then I said, in your house there is only one mother? And she said, yes, my mother. Well, let me think, Maria. Does your mother has friends? Yes. And does your mother friends sometimes go to your home? Yes. Do they bring their daughters with them? Yes. So the mothers talk with the mothers and the girls play with the other girls? Yes. Well, Maria, then I think there can be more than one mother in one house. And then Maria opened her eyes like this and said, yes, there can be more than one mother in one house. And then she took Victoria and they started playing. So she changed her perspective from a win-lose situation to a win-win situation. So even generosity goes through cognitive conflict. And you have to think deep to change perspectives and have conversations with children. I would say that what we do in our school is to listen and have great conversations. And these conversations change perspectives and attitudes. And we collect these stories to tell it to the teachers, to the parents, and to the global leaders, and to the people from the World Forum, because these stories make people think. And regarding all the stories I have heard, I come to the conclusion that the global leaders are kind of chameleons, chameleones, no? They change so much, here and there to fulfill the purpose. So I have 7 chameleons here. I hope I have 700 other chameleons there. Thank you very much.